Hey, my fellow book people, it's your girl Sasha Bonet. Welcome on back. Welcome on back to Reading Sprints and Chai Sips. Are you the type of reader that likes challenges, right? Because if you are, you probably jumped on the bandwagon for 24 books to read in 2024. I, however, did not jump on that bandwagon because I know me. I did, however, jump on the 10 before the end. And I'm still working on it. Halfway through December, I'm still working on it. So if you're also like me and you jump on trends and maybe you shouldn't, then this one might actually be for you. I'm not doing 25 to read in 2025. That's too much. That's way too much to put on my plate, especially as a mood reader, a person who picks their books as they feel them, right? I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I can't put myself in that kind of position to do 25 in 2025. I'm not gonna do it. But I came up with a kind of like a move around, a loophole, if you will, right? How about instead of 25 to read in 2025, I just pick off my TBR shelves 12 books, and that means one book that I can slip into a TBR every single month until the end of the year. So 12 books that are going to be my most prioritized books of the year. Some I've had for a while, some are new, some I really want to get to, but it's only 12. Let me show you what I got. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and if you would rather do one book added to your TBR a month rather than fitting 25 books wherever you can fit them in at. First is Tia Williams' The Perfect Find. I know there's a movie. I have not seen it. I have read 2 Tia Williams books. I don't know if those are the only 2, but I know those are the 2 that I've read. And here's another romance. Starting over is never easy, but it could be scandalously sexy. I don't know. I know it's a romance and I want to get to it. I want to read all of Tia Williams' work. I actually like her work and I think she's a really good writer. When I went to the book outlet warehouse, I picked this up. It was only like $5, I think. But it has swept the book talk streets as something that everybody is reading. Everybody has either read, wants to read, or read and didn't like. Whatever it was, everyone has jumped on the bandwagon, and I'm guessing including me. I love a thriller. I love a mystery. I also like shenanigans, and I hear that there's supposed to be shenanigans, like, oh my god, that's so unserious. I don't mind something that's unserious if it sticks to the bit. Don't give me unserious and then turn around and then it's serious. You have to stick to the bit. So hopefully I like it, but I'm going to tackle this next year. Next, we have Magical Realism in Caul Baby by Morgan Jerkins. I kind of know what it's about. I know that the black skin of some of the people in this book has healing properties, right? And the story moves on from there. I cannot wait to read it. Magical realism is something that I don't often read because sometimes it gets a little like, am I wrong or is this not magical realism? You just stuck that title on there, right? But one of my favorite magical realism books is Mama Day. Love that book. I'll put it here somewhere on the screen, but I love that book. I'm going to jump into this one next year as well. If you are here from TikTok, you know that I love books that are indie published because the indie girls really do know how to write. I just don't think that they have the platforms to get their work out there. So I'm always going to read an indie book, an indie published book. So we have Once We Were Wicked by MyLeah Symone. It's a Marked by Magic series. This is book 1 in that series. It's supposed to be a Wizard of Oz retelling. And again, if you're here from TikTok, you know that a retelling is something I'm always going to get into, even if it's not so good. Hopefully this does not fall into that category. And I don't know what it's about. Like, I don't know the premise of how it's going to tackle the Wizard of Oz story. But I'm going to get into this one next year as well. Next up, we have Savage Lands by Stacey Marie Brown. Now, I have read one book by Stacey Marie Brown, and I actually kind of liked it. I got it in a book box this year. Yes, this year. I got it in a book box this year. I believe it was Beyond the Pages book box. And I was there for one book. It was an A.E. Valdez special edition book. But it was in the book box with 4 to 5 other books of people I've never heard of or never read. I actually enjoyed that one. Special edition and all, I actually enjoyed it. But now we have Savage Lands. I believe there's Fae in here. You know, Fae is always what the girlies are tackling. They're going to tackle some Fae. So Fae is in here. I think it's supposed to be like dark fantasy, magic, romance. All of that together in a book. And it's hardcover. I actually did not buy this on Amazon or anything like this. I bought this in store at Barnes & Noble. Indie as it may be. I can't wait to dive into it. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. These books were actually expensive too because they were hardcover and indie. So I hope Miss Stacey Marie Brown has, we could go 2 for 2. Is The Girl with Stars in Her Eyes, Zhao Axelrod. I believe it's a romance as well. Let's see. Her name's Antonia Tony Bennett. Yeah, she's heard all the jokes before. And she's not a rock star. Neither are the Lilies, not yet. But the difference between being famous and being almost famous can be a single wrong note or the start of something that'll change their life forever. But I honestly do not like music in books. And I think the reason I have an ick with music in books is because I can't hear it. There is no writing that I have found yet that makes me care about someone in a book singing, playing an instrument, or dancing. They don't hit for me. Maybe for other people they do. They don't hit for me. Hopefully this one hits. And if it doesn't, that's absolutely fine. Everything isn't for everybody. And it's a thick one too. Over 450 pages. So we'll see. Now, I am, 1, a romance girly. 2nd, I would say horror / thriller / mystery. All on one line. Horror, thriller, mystery. And it's because they all kind of toe the line sometimes for me. But this is supposed to be a thriller. And this is The Landlord by Brandon Massey. And I just picked it. It looked good. It looked interesting. It looked ominous from the cover. Let's see. He owns your house. He owns your family. He owns you. That's what it says on the back. And I'm not going to read any more than that because I don't want to be spoiled or given any information. I want to go in blind. And thrillers, mysteries, and horrors are always, for me, easier to go in blind. Our late, great Nikki Giovanni has recently passed. And I've had this on my shelves, not for that long, but long enough. On my journey now, looking at African American history through the spirituals. Complete lyrics for the spirituals included, which I love because just because I'm Black don't mean I know all the Negro spirituals, because I don't. And because I'm not really a religious person, I don't know all of the ins and outs of singing certain songs in church as either. So we're going to give a good read to Miss Ma'am Nikki Giovanni. Next, we have a YA book. I think this is the first one. Yeah, this is the first YA on the list for next year. And it's Out of Body by Nia Davenport. If you don't know who Nia Davenport is, here's the books that she has written. I haven't read them, but I do want to read this one. The cover just caught me like, ooh, and I got it from Book Outlet. It just caught me and I was like, I want to read it. And it says she's got to get her life back or die trying. Yeah, I don't know what happened to her life, but I want to get into this book to find out. And YA thrillers and mysteries, sometimes they can be a hit, but most times they're kind of like in the middle for me. But I'm looking forward to this one. Next up is The Kind Worth Saving by Peter Swanson. Not too long ago, maybe a month or 2 ago, I read The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, the first book in this trilogy, I believe it is. I believe it's just a trilogy, hopefully. I read the first one. I enjoyed it. It had so many twists and turns, POVs that I did not think would come into play, came into play. It was shocking. It was shocking to me because I was never expecting the next move, and I enjoyed that. I don't know if it picks up where the first one left off or we're following the detective and someone else. I want to read it. Hopefully it's as good as the first one, continuing the series. And this is, I think, the first one, that I'm continuing a series with as well. We have another thriller, right? Mystery thriller. I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. And I got this one from Books A Million. I've read I want to say two books by Alice Feeney. And both I got from Book of the Month. So when I saw this one at Books A Million at the top of this year, I gravitated towards it and I said, okay, I've liked two books by her already, so let's jump into the next one. Like I said, I don't know what it's about. Sarah Michelle Gellar blurbed this. What a ride. I love this book and the brilliant Hitchcockian twist. So there's a Hitchcockian twist. We'll see. We'll see. But Sarah Michelle Gellar blurbing a book, iconic. And last, and all the books found, last but not least, is a large print edition, The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. And the pages are stark white. Yeah, but I have seen this movie so long ago. Haven't watched it since, and I only watched it once. I kind of know the premise. I mean, it's kind of said in the title. I don't know anything beyond what I watched when I was younger and this book. So I'm going to read this, possibly watch the movie afterwards. Usually if a book has a movie and I haven't watched it or I haven't watched it in a very long time, book comes first, then the movie, then I compare. Maybe I'll bring you all along for the ride. Maybe we'll do it as a watch along. I don't know. You guys let me know if that's something you would like to do, and we'll try. Also, because this one also has a movie, which I want to do a watch along, well, a read, read the book and then a watch along, let me know. So those are the 12 books, not the 25 in 2025, but the 12 books that I plan on adding to my TBR, one book a month, until they're all read. They're all from my physical TBR. I own them already. I don't have to go out and buy anything. It's all good. So again, let me know if you've read any of these, if you plan on reading any of these, if you've heard of them. Is there any other works by any of these authors that you think that I should get into? Let me know. And yes, I am sitting on my floor again. It's because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with this camera and I don't know fully. So we're getting into it. We're getting into it. But I'll see you all in the next one.